Hello, welcome to GottaBeReel movie reviews with Thommi.
That's me.
And Jules. And right now we're doing a classic review of Misery. It came out in 1990. I know a lot of people have seen it.
I don't know anybody that hasn't seen Misery. If you haven't, press stop right now and go watch this classic.
Maybe some of the young people might not have seen it because I mean 1990. So,
but it's still a classic.
Yes.
See it. I don't care if you're 19 or 20. See it right now, especially if you're a movie buff. You should already have that in your catalog.
Yeah, if you're a movie buff.
I'm shaming you if you haven't. Miss Jules, I am. Okay. You can shame me later. Trust me, there'll be some that I didn't see and I should have. You can shame me. It'll be a tit for a tat. But okay. Let's talk about Misery.
Misery is rated R. It's 1 hour and 47 minutes. Okay. Sometimes it seems a little longer because of what's going on there, but it's good.
It's good.
Yeah. So it stars James Caan as Paul Sheldon. He passed away this year.
Yeah, just recently.
In July. Yeah.
He wasn't that...
You'll recognize him from another classic, The Godfather, and many other movies.
Great job.
Great actor.
Yes.
Kathy Bates, she plays Annie Wilkes.
Oh, we love Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
She's just so versatile.
She was in another movie that came out shortly after this called Dolores Claiborne. So
I remember Dolores Claiborne.
Misery came out. We were all hyped. She won an award. You know, it was a great movie, this, that, and the third. Then Dolores Claiborne came out, so we're like, well, shoot. Misery came out. Dolores Claiborne is going to be great. No, it sucked in my opinion. I didn't like it.
I didn't see it. I know what it is, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that liked it. Richard Farnsworth plays Buster, the sheriff. He died in 2010. You know, October 6, 2000. He was a stuntman for 30 years.
Really?
When you see this man, you'll be like, I recognize that man. He's one of those familiar faces and stuff. But yeah, 30 years he was a stuntman. And Frances Sternhagen as Virginia. You'll recognize her from Sex and the City and ER. Great actors, all of them. So the summary. Paul Sheldon crashes in a car in a big snowstorm and is picked up by a seemingly sweet nurse named Annie Wilkes, who is also his biggest fan. He's a writer.
Yeah, she was sweet, all right.
Yeah, she was touched. She was touched in the head a little bit.
So she sees his car all messed up in this ditch, and she goes to help him, and she pulls him out, and she takes him to a hospital, right?
No, because she says she's a nurse, so she takes care of him, and she's his biggest fan. We get spoilers away in these classic reviews, right?
Okay, we like to talk about this. So she picks this man up.
She sabotaged his car, so he would crash, and. Yeah, she picks him up. Yeah. She picks him up and she nurses him back to health. And
does she?
She does, remember? And then
does she nurse him back to health?
She does, remember? Then she asks, he's so grateful and thankful. He's like, you're my biggest fan. I'm going to let you read the book that I just finished. Because she knows he just finished the book because she knows where he stays when he writes these books and the path that he takes to get back home to New York, okay? He's out in the country. So she reads the book. And she's excited about it until she finds out that, because he discussed with his editor, he's ready to give up on this series. I guess it's been a long series of these books.
And the lead is called, her name is Misery. Yeah,
he kills off Misery, the main character. So Annie goes bat crap crazy. You can't kill Misery. I can't believe that you did that. Yeah. So we can say what happens.
I'm just saying, that's why when you were saying she nursed him back to health, I said, yes, she nursed him back to health, all right.
Yeah.
So just a crack his ass again.
So he just types.
On a typewriter.
Some of y'all young people you're not familiar, but there was typewriters, okay?
Gosh, you're not that old, Jules.
Some young people might
Some writers still like the nostalgia of it, typewriters.
And some young people know about typewriters, but some don't. So it's not like a computer where it's up in the cloud or you can save it or something. It's just what you get. You type it out, and that's what you have. It's a hard copy. That's it.
Corrections are done with whiteout. I mean, it's kind of brutal.
There's no saved copy. So she takes the transcript and she burns it and tells him to write another one where he saves Misery's life. So that does not make sense to me. Okay. How is he writing a book about bringing her back to life after you burned the book that killed her? Because there's no other books that kill her.
Well, as a writer, you know your stories are in your head, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying she got pissed off that he killed Misery and burned the transcript. And she said, now you better write another one where you bring her back to life. So nobody knows that Misery is dead except for those two. So then the book bringing her back to life wouldn't make sense anyway.
See, I thought she was wanting him to simply just rewrite it and not kill her at all. I didn't know she was bringing her back to life wouldn't make sense. I thought
she said bring her back to life because I was like, that don't make no dang
well,
sense.
maybe she meant as in when you rewrite this script, she's not dying.
I hope that's what she meant.
Because I don't think that would make sense.
All the other writing in this movie was great, and that didn't make sense to me.
No, I took it as she just wanted him to rewrite her and not kill her off this time.
Okay.
That's what she wanted him to write a whole new script. First of all, how dare you? That makes sense. But then she, you know, he's literally locked up in this house. Nobody knows he's there. Yeah. He's sick. Yeah. She finds out that she leaves one day and he doesn't get out of the house. Right. But he gets loose because she's got this man strapped down like he's in a mental institute. Yeah. Now, here's the thing.
She's got him locked in a room.
Yeah, locked in this room. Now, every time we see that scene, she's got his legs spread out. She puts a board or something there so that when she breaks his ankles with this big sledgehammer. Yeah. I still cannot fully watch that part because I cringe. It's crazy. The sound of it. Now listen, I kind of gave her a pinch. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I root for the slashers in movies, but not her. This wasn't a particular slasher. Sometimes I root for the bad guy. I didn't root for the bad guy for her per se. But if I get Stephen King in my house and I want to talk to him and get in his head and talk about some scripts, am I going to tie him down? You don't think I would?
She didn't tie him down in the beginning, really, because he was hurt. He was passed out, and his arm was broke and his leg was broke, I think. And so she nursed him back to health. And then when she found out that he got out, and, you know, after he pissed her off for killing away her favorite character, she
decides, I get it. You got a good man in your house. You don't want to let him go. Yeah. How am I going to keep this good man and my favorite writer in this house? The part where she cocks that sledgehammer back, and all you can literally, you can hear it, you can feel it. I could feel my ankles in that movie. It is cringing. Yeah. If she did not play the F out of this role, I don't think anybody, I'm sure people could have done just a greater job. I don't know if anybody could top her. She was so perfectly nutty in this movie. It is insane.
And she's drugging him. She's giving him these drugs, and he found the rest of the drugs and stuff. And I like the sheriff because the sheriff was like, something's just, again, he swept. Something
right.
Something just
because he went out looking like something's not right here, and you know what? I got the feeling that both the sheriff and probably the townspeople, and I think he actually mentioned something in here before. Everybody kind of finds her to be a little weird, anyway.
Yeah. Well, he kept those news clippings too, and he saw where she got fired from being a nurse.
She was probably like but they call them angels of death. Yeah, I could see her being one of those, killing people because she thinks she's giving them mercy and she has the right to do so. Yeah. But everybody already knows she's a little weird. But again, she's got this land that's away from town, away from everybody, so nobody's outside looking at her going in and out. You know, right? She lives on her own, and it makes sense because she's off. Yep.
They send the helicopters out looking for him. Yeah, his car.
And all the snow, but it's so much snow out there, it's hard for them to see it. But they knowing this woman is weird, and the sheriff just slowly, him and his wife, they start putting stuff together like. Okay,
they find the car, but nobody.
Damn, but there's like, this ain't right. Yeah. And I just felt so bad for the sheriff. Yeah. Like, I almost wanted to cry what she did to him. And of course, she blames him. She blames the writer because, well, if you'd have just kept your mouth shut and not did this and that, I wouldn't have had to kill the sheriff. You know, he could have just went out and that would have been it. Now it's your fault. You made me do this. Look what you made me do. You old lying dirty birdie. Cock-a-doodle. She cusses like Ned Flanders. But I like the part where she's like, oh, I just think you're a lying old dirty birdie, and I don't want to be around you anymore. That's like one of my favorite lines from the scene because she won't curse. She uses these funny definitions when she's talking to him. But the woman is beyond nutty. And I'm assuming she was probably born like that. She has some kind of mental illness that really has her. Certifiable? Yeah. Sociopath? I'm going to say she's a sociopath. Well, you know what? Sociopaths don't really feel anything. Maybe she's more of a psychopath. Because she felt.
Either one.
We could call her either one and be fine. And we would just be like, okay, call her whatever. Because the biatch is nutty. I'm sorry, but she's nutty. This is one of my favorite films of hers, at least. I can watch Misery over and over and never get tired of it. I like the fight in him when he's trying to get out and his legs are broken and he's just, it was very well put together. Yeah. And I know when this movie came out, everybody was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic movie. If you're a classic movie lover, surely you've seen this. If you've not, if you're, in your 20s or something, you're not really familiar with movies, absolutely watch it.
Check this out. Yeah.
You'll see so many different memes. And actually, some of the memes that I've seen, I've made myself saying, when you've got a good man, do what it takes to keep him. And they got a meme of her cocking back with that sledgehammer about to break them ankles because he's not going anywhere. But, the scene will make you cringe,
and she
right?
could have just broke one. She didn't have to.
No, she didn't. She put that board there. It was like, yeah, they're both getting broken. Like, so you healed the man, but then you also kind of disabled him all over again because you didn't like what he did with his book.
Right.
But listen, she does so. They both do fantastic in here, but she is just off the chain nutty in here. Yeah. Love this movie. We don't give it clappers because they're classic. We're just saying, absolutely go see this.
But of course, since it's a classic, there's lots of notes.
Mm-hmm. So let's give some fun stuff on Misery.
Here we go. Stephen King was quite impressed by Kathy Bates' performance in this film, so much so that he later wrote 2 more roles for her. The title role in his novel Dolores Claiborne was written with Bates in mind, and Bates later starred in the film adaptation of Dolores Claiborne in 1995. King also wrote a script for TV miniseries The Stand in 1994. His original novel featured a male character named Ray Flowers. Upon hearing that Bates wanted to be involved in the miniseries, King rewrote the part as a woman, Ray Flowers, R-A-E, just so Bates could play the part.
I'm currently watching The Stand.
Really?
There's a series. It is on, I think I'm watching it on Peacock if I'm not mistaken.
Of course.
But I think I'm on the 4th episode and I think there's like 8 or 9. But it's actually pretty good. I love Stephen King anyways. But yeah, I'm actually, it's pretty good.
What's it about? The Stand?
It's basically about it's like the apocalypse almost pretty much, and them trying to survive. And when it's an apocalypse or things like that, I mean, you got to worry about the disease or whatever it is that's killing people off. But most of the time, it's other humans you have to worry about. So that's what it deals with, them trying to figure out what the heck is going on. How are we getting out of this? All these people are dying. Am I going to be next?
And it's set in Massachusetts or something?
I don't remember where it's set at. But there are a certain amount of people, very small group, that are immune. So they're trying to figure out, we need your blood. We need to find out how are you immune and everybody else is dying. Right. So this guy is traveling around. There are people after him. He has a girl with him who's traveling with him. Amber Heard is actually in this series as well. And I mean, some of the humans that they come across, it's always the humans that you have to worry about. But the series, it's actually pretty good. And I want to say it came out, this particular one for The Stand came out, maybe it was a couple of years ago. So I'm just now getting on it, but it's actually pretty good.
I think I saw the original one in
94. probably so. Yeah, because I started watching that one a while ago. I wasn't feeling it too much, so I picked up on this one, and then I'll probably go back and watch it just so I like to see the differences, the different nuances. Yeah. But yeah.
James Caan once showed up at on the set hungover, and all the scenes he shot that day were unusable. Rob Reiner told Caan he had to do the scenes again because there was a problem at the lab, which Caan learned it had nothing to do with the labs. He offered to cover the money he lost the studio.
Right. I mean, that's the right thing to do. Yeah. You show up drunk, you wasted everybody's time that day, and filming is not cheap. So that was the right thing to do. Yeah. So
Jack Nicholson was offered the role as Paul Sheldon, but passed because he was not sure he wanted to do another movie based on one of Stephen King's novels after what he had experienced with Stanley Kubrick on The Shining in 1980. I guess I could see that.
I could totally see Jack Nicholson playing this.
I could see him playing it too.
But you also know that the director, his co-star Shelley, the director said they intentionally tortured her. Intentionally tortured that woman during that movie because they wanted her character to play it up.
Yeah, and she still has some issues.
Yeah, right now, she's something's coming up. I just seen her. She looks totally. I mean, I don't know if she's had some bad things that may have happened in her life, but you can't even tell that it's her.
She's had some mental issues that happen.
I don't know if it started with that movie or what,
I
but
think she said it started with that movie, if I remember right. I saw some interviews with her.
I can't believe that they did. I mean, if you're going to hire an actor to do their job, it's their job to do their job, not to be tortured on set and make it hard. And it just blows my mind if they actually did that to her. I mean, she did great in the movie, but to think that she dealt with that behind the scenes is kind of sad. And now seeing her, like when I seen her picture a couple times, I would have never known that was her. And it's, I mean, it's kind of sad, but it sounds like Jack Nicholson didn't have the best of times. I think if I would have done that movie, I think I would be crazy myself towards the end. I mean, the whole movie, everybody's kind of nuts in the movie. She's trying to fight off his nuttiness. He's nuttiness to his family and his little boy, and the little boy's traumatized. And the little boy did fantastic in that movie, by the way. Yeah. And the original one. But I could probably see my own self getting a little crazy doing that movie. I mean, he had to be on 10. Once he started losing his mind, he was on 10. Yeah. And then poor her dealing with the director and dealing with that movie. I just feel really bad for her. So I don't know. I hope she's better. I hope she does better.
One of Stephen King's first typewriters had a malfunctioning N key, just like the one used by Paul in the movie. In the novel, the typewriter also drops its T and E keys. Those two letters are second and first most commonly used letters in the English language, respectively, making Paul's job even tougher.
Like he really needed that,
you know,
after Psycho Bunny.
Right?
Yeah.
In 1991, Kathy Bates became the first woman to win an Oscar for Best Actress in a horror or thriller film. The first performer to win an Oscar for a horror film was Frederick March for his performance as the title character in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, 1931.
Wow.
The only other winners for acting in a horror film were Ruth Gordon for her performance as Mia Farrow's new neighbor with the hidden agenda in Rosemary's Baby, 1968.
Okay.
Best Actress in Supporting Roles, which she won. Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster for Best Actor and Best Actress in The Silence of the Lamb, 1991. And Natalie Portman for Best Actress in Black Swan, 2010. Now, that's another movie I was like, what
that was a psychological thriller.
I just watched, and I had to scrub my brain again because, yeah.
It wasn't horror.
It was just weird and
it was
creepy.
It was a psychological thriller, and
it plays with your brain.
It really did, but they did great. The actors did phenomenal in that movie, but it was like...
But I watched it once, and I don't know if I will ever watch it again, because I was like, what in the world?
I liked it. I liked how it shows in anything you do, whether you're an actor, you're a ballerina, you work in corporate, there's always some stuff going on behind the scenes. There's always some type of drama. No matter what you see, there's always something going on behind closed doors, and they showed you that when it comes to ballet. Yeah. How the women age out, how the competition can really get dark and ugly. And she was Natalie Portman, right? Yeah. Losing her mind in that movie, and some of the stuff she was doing, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? But it almost, not completely, when Suspiria, I don't know if you've seen Suspiria.
I saw.
Very weird.
Most of it.
It kind of put me in a mindset when I seen Suspiria. It made me think about the Black Swan movie.
It was another one of those creepy mind thrillers, and I was like,
Suspiria was a whole lot more creep and weird and some devilish stuff going on in there. I was like, what? Yeah. Woo. And there, I'm like, I don't know if this is... It's horror psychological thriller, because especially getting towards the like 3/4 of that movie of Suspiria, you are like, what in the hell am I watching? Yep. What the is this real? Is somebody dreaming, or where the hell did that come from? Yeah. One of them creepy horrors in your head, you just be like, I don't know if I. There are some characters in there and some scenes. I was like, ew.
Let's bring it on back to Misery, though. Let's bring it on back.
Yeah. Cause anyways, we're just saying. But anyways, Misery is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, pull it up. I'm sure it's on probably any platform. It's probably on one of your streaming platforms at this point. But I watch it every time it comes out, and I think it's a really, really good movie. Good classic. All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to our classic review of Misery. Don't forget, we're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on Cash App. We're also on the FearCon network. So go to connecttoyourcitystudios.com You're going to click on the FearCon tab and you'll see our content, and you'll see some other content as well that you may be interested in. Really good stuff we got going on the FearCon network. Visit PhoenixFearCon.com as well if you live in the Valley. They have a lot of neat stuff going on throughout the year. Sometimes stuff is online, so go ahead and check them out even if you don't live here in the Valley in Arizona. All right? Well, thank you very much for tuning in to our review of Misery. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.